Hello everyone! In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Illustrator to create an interlocking letter name logo similar to this one. Let's get started. First, select the Type tool from the toolbox or simply type T on the keyboard. Next, use the swapper arrow to change the fill to black, then X on the keyboard to bring the stroke forward and set it to none. Now I'm simply going to click in this blank area down here and I'm going to type my first name in all caps. You can type your first or last name or the name of a friend or something similar. Now I'm going to choose a font. So I highlighted that. I'm going to go over here to the Properties panel, and under Character I downloaded from DaFont something called Brady Bunch Remastered. You should choose a font that is nice and wide so that you have lots of opportunity for overlapping and changing the colors. Now I'm going to grab the selection tool and just click on these handles here to make this the approximate size that I want to work with for now. Next, I'm going to change this from a type object to a shape object by going to Type, Create Outlines. Next, I'm going to ungroup this by going to Object, Ungroup. Now, each of those letters, if I click on them individually, now I can move them around. Now, I'm going to do various things to each letter to make them overlap, make them have a little bit more character. So for example, I could click on the outside of this and maybe rotate the J a little bit, overlap it with the U. If I click on the T here, I can switch to the direct selection tool, which is A, and then each one of any of these points, let me magnify this so that you can see it. Any of these anchor points here with the direct selection tool, I can click on it and click and drag them to make them look more interesting. I could click and drag this point, hold down Shift and grab that point so I have two selected, and then I can drag both of them at the same time. I could just click one anchor point and only drag one over if I wanted to. I could drag it up a little bit. So what you're going to do is make the creative adjustments to your name that you want. So you're going to rotate some, overlap them, click and drag on them, make them all sorts of different interesting shapes, something similar to this top example right here. Now I've already done that, so I'm going to delete this and grab my text over here from the side. So this is the one that I spent a lot of time working on, and I have it just how I want it. Switch to the selection tool if necessary, which is V on the keyboard, and click to draw a selection around all of the letters. Then over in the Pathfinders panel, click these three dots down here to show all of your options and choose this one down here called Divide. Now you can click on each of these little sections with the direct selection tool, which is A on the keyboard. So now I can click each one of these sections and change the color. I'm going to go to Window Swatches to get some more color options here. And this is very limited. In the Swatches panel, click the side menu, go to Open Swatch Library, Color Books, and one that I like is called True Match, just because it has so many color options. So now I'm just going to kind of randomly start clicking. Oops. So I have the stroke forward. I'm going to set that back to none, and then X on the keyboard to bring the fill forward. Now I'm going to start clicking on colors, and I'll just kind of really fast just click on these to show you what it looks like. There we go, and I expect you all to spend a lot of time getting just the right colors to work for your project that you think look good, and it should look something like this one here at the top when you're finished. Now you'll notice that all of these letters are cut off on the bottom, kind of to make up a line, an underline, a platform, and then the text is placed underneath it. So let's work on that part. I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and click and drag a box, a rectangle, and using the keyboard, I'm going to move this around until I think it looks good. Maybe something like that. Now, V on the keyboard to get to the selection tool. I'm going to draw a box around all of these objects. Then back to Pathfinder and the 3 dots. I'm going to open the menu and choose the one that says Trim. Now, make sure that you have the direct selection tool, which is A on the keyboard. Click on just the black box and delete it. Now you have that nice line at the bottom. Now for the text at the bottom, go ahead and get the type tool again and type in some words that describe you, and you'll notice that the words that I used are artist, educator, and photographer. And instead of putting spaces in between the words, I just changed the color so that you can see where one word starts and the other begins. So I would do something similar to that using your own words, and once you get this in here, you can click it and drag it to make it the right size if you need to make the adjustments that you need. Save your changes. That's it for this project. Have fun, everyone.